The reality is your plan must include the likelihood of things going wrong. And this is the problem with some of the work that I see done either by individuals or by the other professionals in their lives, is that it's too optimistic. I'm an optimist. I want you to be optimistic about the future. I want you to be optimistic about opportunities, but I want you to be paranoid about what could go wrong. Hi, folks. This is Colin Richards, president and founder of Lord & Richards. And once again, I'm excited to be with you in this segment of the Lord & Richards Show. And today we're in the middle of a short series on getting wealthy and staying wealthy, the most important virtues, really, the investment virtues that you need in order to not only accumulate wealth, but to retain that wealth and to be able to use that wealth to purchase financial freedom, because that's the end goal. That is the end goal. So the first segment, we talked about how to get wealthy, and that involved patience. And we use examples, great examples like Warren Buffett. In this next segment, I'm going to talk to you about how to stay wealthy. And that's a different P word. That's the word paranoia. Okay. Now, I want to say I'm an optimistic person. Okay. But the real way that you're going to not only get wealthy, but stay wealthy is to develop a subtle balance between frugality and paranoia, as well as optimism. Okay. So putting into place these virtues to be a frugal person, we talked about that a little bit in our last segment. Having the patience of the saver. Right now, savers are being rewarded. Interest rates are high. People are being rewarded in CDs, fixed annuities. And by the way, if you haven't yet taken advantage of that to refinance your lower yielding long-term safety net investments like CDs and annuities, then you need to get on the stick, because that is about to pass off the scene. The Fed's raising rates. Obviously, we're going to see lowering rates. We're going to see rates going back down. And along with that, the reward for savers is gradually going to trickle away. I don't want you to miss that. But in addition to frugality, there's this concept of paranoia. And here's another term I want you to think about: being financially unbreakable. It doesn't mean that all of us are impervious to anything that could happen, the asteroid hitting scenario. But it does mean that we can do a great job putting you in a position where under both normal and abnormal circumstances, you not only survive, but thrive. And if you become financially unbreakable in the way that Lord & Richards develops our plans, you will not reduce or give up opportunity when you do that, because we're going to find a balance that helps you to achieve safety as well as growth and opportunity at the same time. And that's a unique balance. And I'm not talking about the classic 60-40 portfolio that everybody's talking about, 60% bonds or 60% stocks, depending on your risk tolerance, the other percentage, the other investment. That's been shown to just really not do well for people over the long haul and reduce the amount you can safely live on in retirement. That's not financial independence. For me, that's fear. When I say paranoia, I'm talking about developing a plan that takes into account the likelihood of negative events occurring. Because that's what my clients are always talking to me about. Hey, what's going to happen because of the election? What's going to happen because of wars? What's going to happen because of supply chain issues? What if we have another pandemic? So here's a phrase to remember. Planning is important, but the most important part of any plan is to plan on things not going according to plan. Planning is important, but the most important part of any plan is to plan on things not going according to plan. Let me put it much easier. On a bumper sticker, Mike Tyson, the famous boxer, has given us a one-liner that you can put on a bumper sticker. Everyone has a plan until they get punched in the face. Wow. Everyone has a plan until they get punched in the face. The reality is your plan must include the likelihood of things going wrong. And this is the problem with some of the work that I see done either by individuals or by the other professionals in their lives, is that it's too optimistic. I'm an optimist. I want you to be optimistic about the future. I want you to be optimistic about opportunities, but I want you to be paranoid about what could go wrong. That's what Morgan Housel in his book, The Psychology of Money, calls a barbell mindset. On one side of your barbell, if you're into exercise, easy to visualize. On one side, you've got safety, you've got paranoia about potential losses. You take care of that problem using specific financial tools that can still grow, but also provide tremendous, rock solid principal protection at the same time. You say, wait a minute, I don't even know what those are. Safety and protection at the same time as growth and opportunity? How do you do that? Well, generally, we have to give up one other thing I didn't mention, which is a portion of your liquidity. So on one side of your portfolio, you have less liquid, long-term assets that can actually protect and guarantee principal and provide solid growth and potential future income. On the other side, okay, we've got paranoia taken care of. Now let's be optimistic about the United States, about the world, about investing, because there is great opportunity out there. And the problem is when we let paranoia completely take over, your returns will be diminished, you won't keep up, and you'll be flattened out by periods of high inflation, or when you're trying to allow your lifestyle to keep up as you retire. So we need to be optimistic about the future. We need to be pessimistic or paranoid about what could go wrong. By doing a barbell with your portfolio, one side safe, protected, guarantees as much as we can get, income. We know, we've talked about this on this show, you do not have to worry about your income. That should be the least of your concerns in a proper plan, not because we're going to take them from dividends or bonds or other unstable, unreliable sources, because we're going to take them from guaranteed sources, okay? Then when we get that in place on the other side, we can develop a more aggressive stock-based, equity-based portfolio that still has protective measures built in. At Lord & Richards, we use advanced tools. We call it institutional risk management. Remember this, institutional risk management. It doesn't mean we're using institutions, but we're implementing tools and strategies that you typically don't see in the ordinary investor's portfolios. Tools and strategies that are used by institutions like colleges, hospitals, endowments, foundations, and so forth. One of those will be things like hedging. We implement for our clients who have certain risk tolerance hedges in your portfolio that will reduce that side of the barbell's volatility and its ability to drop. We don't want an unlimited drop on that side of your portfolio. We want to be able to contain the inevitable rise and fall of the market. But here we've got to be patient, because if we're going to invest more aggressively on this one side, because we're so conservative over here, we've got to let things ride out right through and after market cycles, such as bear markets. Some people come to us and they just never want to experience a bear market. I can set you up to do that, but you'll have to make certain compromises, right? But we can get you to and through retirement, and you'll never participate in another bear market again. But I would suggest a balance where part of your portfolio does not ever go down. The other part has a little bit more volatility. It's a little bit more aggressive. We can design a portfolio, though, that still has checks and balances. This is called the barbell. So staying wealthy involves not only the patience of getting wealthy, but the paranoia of making sure you have an unbreakable plan and portfolio. At Lord & Richards, that's exactly what we do. We call it a financial independence review. My team and I would love to help you obtain what you've always wanted, which is financial freedom in retirement. It just starts with a simple phone call.